Hi guys, welcome back to Tom Talks, and today we are doing the first of our Mercury Prize reviews. Technically not the first because I've already reviewed the Fontaine's DC record, which there will be a link to the playlist so you can listen to all the other reviews at the end of this video. But that was back when I was doing reviews for the Brit Awards, so technically this is the first review for the Mercury Prize. And I'm going to start with CMAT's Euro Country, which only came out a few weeks ago, so is definitely one of the later choices here. CMAT, obviously, Irish singer, has become very popular recently. This is her third studio album. It blends indie pop, country, there's a bit of folk and indie rock influence as well. Obviously, I think she got a lot of attention because she showed a crack, let's say, at the Brit Awards. But she got nominees on that night. Her last album got a lot of love and attention. She's won multiple awards. She got nominated for the Mercury Prize last time, I believe. And this album did very well, got to #2 in the UK, topped the Irish charts and the UK Independent and Americana charts. And I've got to say, very good album. I really like this record. I think it is very human. It's very passionate and emotional. It sounds good. And it just consistently does this throughout the record. The intro, which has this tranquil, wavy sounds as you hear like this conversation going on in the background, starts things off, and then we then transition into the title track. CMAT has these very enchanting vocals, which she displays on a lot of the tracks here, but she knows when to hit the high notes at the right time. She's a talented vocalist who has a voice that commands attention, but also changes up at the right time. She talks about feeling very trapped when it comes to lack of identity, when it comes to her Irish ancestry, but also wanting to be this like big pop star. She talks about her weight, the suicides that happened after the 2008 financial crash. You can see the doubt and the sort of uncertainty not only in her vocal delivery, but also in her words as well. And I think the beat, which is this like very tranquil country sound, which uses like booming drums, I think it's a great track and it sets off the album very nicely. We then move on to When a Good Man Cries, which it's got, again, this very country twang to it. It's a bit more toned down. The drum beat and the guitars are a bit more relaxed here, which matches the more subtle delivery about breaking this person's heart, but sort of reflecting on yourself, wanting to change and wanting to be in love. And at the end, as she does on a lot of tracks here, she really goes for it vocally with that sort of vibrating falsetto in play. Probably my least favourite track on the record, just because it's just my least favourite track. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, it just doesn't hit the highs of the other tracks here. But good song. Jamie Oliver Petrol Station, which is about her irrational hatred for Jamie Oliver and it being a reflection of her own behaviour and sort of kind of reflecting on that. It's very tongue-in-cheek and it shows off her humour here, and she kind of throughout the track jokes that, yeah, you still don't understand? Okay, let me try explain it again. It's it's a humorous track. It's got a bit more of a rocky edge to the beat. It's a lot of fun. 365, which is about this partner of hers cheating on her on New Year's Day and kind of saying like, oh, you're gonna be not faithful or loyal to me for the other 364 days of the year. It's got this more folky and sort of jolty sound to it. It feels like she's delivering this in like a pub as sort of like a late night open mic session, kind of just opening up to this crowd of people about this guy who's just done a dirty. The rhythm really increases on the chorus, which gives it this big impact. And yeah, I love how personal it is. I love the bit at the bridge where it all slows down. It's very emotional in terms of delivery. The piano sort of continues that vibe. I just really like this track. I like the vibe of it. I like the poignancy of it. I like the very deepness of it and the personal nature of it. It's a good track. Like A Sexy Picture of Me, which is the most poppy track here. It was the big hit, so no shocks there. I do like the sort of use of auto-tune on the background vocals that we get. She's basically talking about trying to fit the beauty standards and kind of joking about it a bit. I did the butcher, I did the baker, I did the home and the family maker, I did schoolgirl fantasies, oh, I did leg things and hand stuff and single woman bands, now tell me what's in it for me. Basically saying she's trying to appease someone else, it's not doing anything for her, and why is she doing this? And it's just a really good single. Really good single. I can see why it did quite well. It's got a dance to it as well. The woke Macarena, I think I heard somebody describe it as. But it's a really fun single with meaning to it. I enjoy the track a lot. Reading is this acoustic guitar-led track. Very emotional here, especially on the chorus where she's like ready for love, she's ready for life, but she feels like she's missing out on something. Like, she makes a joke about Gwen, like saying, oh, I need to be more like Gwyneth and self-love, which is, talking about like Gwyneth Paltrow and her shtick that she does. She also like references her old friends who are still going to the same nightclubs and them feeling like they're missing out. I kind of related to this track a bit, not in some of like the Gwyneth Paltrow stuff, but like feeling like you're missing out. It does in this generation feel like you do that when observing other people's lives through social media, or not being able to do something because you've got work that day, or because you've not got quite enough money, or seeing people in love and you not being in a relationship. So I relate to this track quite a bit, and I think that adds to my enjoyment for it. We then get Iceberg, which is a bit more ballady. Again, quite an emotional delivery here, where she talks about her friend Bella, who is suffering from being a lawyer, and how careers can weigh you down a bit. She makes a reference to "You're drowning just like Jack did," Titanic reference. Basically saying how they've changed, how the quirkiness and like the lovable characteristics of them have been taken away. And it's a bit of a commentary on like capitalism and how it takes away creativity, it takes away the very humanness and the passion from us because of your jobs and the pressure it puts on you. Again, a very human track, and I really like that. Coronation Street, I love the little Spanish guitar throughout. It gives it something a bit different, and the wavy synth as well. It kind of talks about how her issues and everyone else keeps her down. She gives a very personal and poignant performance, which is what you'd expect from a track like this. And she gives a lot of passion towards the end. Again, it fits into the album's narratives, and it hits you. It's very human. It continues this run of very human tracks, very emotional tracks, very deep and thought-provoking tracks. We then get on to Lord, Let That Tesla Crash, which is basically about a friend of hers who passed away, who she really misses, and she has to come to terms with the fact that she misses her. And the Tesla in question is basically, there's a Tesla parked outside where she used to live, and she compares herself to her friend's dog, saying that her friend loved her and the dog because they were both very similar characters, but she herself didn't like the dog. It's really emotional. It really goes into detail their friendship and like that sort of feeling you have when you lose someone, and how you don't really think about that, but when you have lost someone, you realise how much they meant to you and how much love you had for them, how much love they might have had for you. It's a very I keep using this word human, but it's a very human track. Running / planning, I think the chorus on here, it's really great. It's simple, it's straight to the point. The intensity builds up at the end, as it does on a lot of the tracks here, but it fits in with this theme of trying to look for this perfect person or this perfect road of your career and trying to fit in with that. And the indie rock sound with the bit of country twang fits in here, and it fits in with that intensity of feeling and the intensity of sound as well. And then we close with Janis Joplin, which has these very deep piano notes which commands your attention. Is like, okay, this is the closer. There's going to be a lot happening on this track. And it is kind of summing it up. She's very speaky singing here. It is a lot different to the rest of the album. She's reflecting on the bad things and like knowing that blaming others won't help her, and she's self-destructing. Particularly, it references a married man that she liked, who she feels like she loved because she loved seeing that married man and his wife and the relationship she had. And again, calls back into that sort of fear of missing out and wanting a love that she doesn't have. And I think it's a great way to close the record. It kind of sees her come to a conclusion, but maybe she's not at the conclusion of these feelings, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I love this track. I think it's a brilliant closer. Shout out Ollie Deacon on the production front. I think he did a really good job here throughout the record. I think for me, this is one of the best albums I've heard this year. It's emotional, it's poignant, it's human, the singing's great, the production works really well, and I think thematically it flows very well, but also each track has a message to it, or it has something to say. And I think that is what will stick with me and what will stick with other people when listening to this record. But overall, I don't think this is quite perfect. There's a few tracks where maybe themes are repeated or they don't quite hit the same. But it's a 9 out of 10. So it's a great record. And for me, it's the best album I've heard so far that's on the Mercury Prize list. But we've still got some more to check out. Make sure to like, share and subscribe this to get this out there, to make sure you can see future videos about the Mercury Prize. We've got plenty more albums to come, and at the end of the video there will be a link to my Mercury Prize thoughts, as well as the playlist for all the other album reviews. So until next time, folks, this has been another Tom Talks.